Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Val Arkush, Chair of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Welcome to our briefing for Wednesday, May the 27th. Since our briefing yesterday afternoon, we have 142 new cases of COVID-19 reported in Montgomery County, which brings us to a total of 6,688. These positive cases are a result of a positive test for the virus. There are no results from antibody tests. 16 of these positives are from long-term care facilities. 73 are from the Montgomery County Correctional Facility, and I will be addressing that later in the briefing. 1 is from the Norristown State Hospital, and 52 are from our community. These positive individuals are from 25 municipalities. 61 of 62 Montgomery County municipalities are home to individuals with COVID-19. These individuals range in age from 7 years old to 97 years old. And as always, you can check our county map at montcopa.org/COVID-19 for updated municipal numbers and other information. Today we have 38 females and 104 males. 3 are known to be hospitalized, 2 are known to be in isolation at home, and the remainder are in various other localities, some of which are in our correctional facility. I'm also saddened to confirm that 66 more Montgomery County residents have lost their lives to COVID-19, which brings us to 662 deaths confirmed positive from COVID-19. These deaths occurred between April the 10th and May the 25th of 2020, and this large number is due to a reconciliation between probable and confirmed deaths. 40 were known to have died in a hospital. 23 died in a long-term care facility, and 2 died at home. 1 we don't have information on. They ranged in age from 38 years old to 99 years old. In total, we have 354 females and 308 males that have lost their lives to COVID-19 since this pandemic began to affect us in early March. The self-reported racial breakdown as we have it: 16 Asian, 3 Asian Indian, 2 Asian Korean, 78 African American or Black, 221 white, and 342 no report. In terms of probable deaths, and as a reminder, these are individuals who have COVID-19 listed on their death certificate, but do not have laboratory confirmation of having had the coronavirus. Today, we have 124 probable deaths added to our 662 confirmed positive, gives us a total of 786 individuals. Our hospital situation continues to be stable. Today, we have approximately 220 patients hospitalized with COVID-19 in Montgomery County hospitals, which is holding steady over the last couple of days. Approximately 23% of these individuals do require a ventilator. So I just want to point out that those that are hospitalized do tend to become quite ill and often are on ventilators for prolonged periods of time. And we certainly wish them all the best and hope for a quick recovery. We continue to be working with our long-term care facilities. 94 facilities have reported positive cases of COVID-19 among their residents or staff. The cumulative total of these self-reported cases over the last 11 and a half weeks is now 1,842 cases among residents and 685 among staff. Just a reminder that not all of these individuals are Montgomery County residents, and so not all of these numbers are part of the official county total that I reported earlier. But we do continue to track these cases separately as a daily reminder of the ongoing challenge that these facilities are facing. 554 of the 662 confirmed positive deaths of Montgomery County residents, which is 84% of the total confirmed positive deaths, are from individuals at long-term care facilities. We continue to do outreach at these facilities. We are continuing to provide support, personal protective equipment, guidance on infection control, and we are happily seeing the rate of positive cases in these facilities continuing to come down. So we're very, very hopeful that soon these numbers will be quite low in terms of new cases. So I mentioned earlier that we had some updates from the Montgomery County Correctional Facility. As you may recall, we tested all inmates and all staff at the correctional facility on April 23rd and April 24th, 2020. At that time, we identified 171 inmates who tested positive for the coronavirus out of 942 inmates tested. These individuals were isolated and any cellmates or other known contacts quarantined. Approximately 10 days ago, one inmate from the group that tested negative for the virus began showing symptoms of COVID-19, was retested and tested positive. This was a trigger for us to retest any inmate who had previously tested negative. That testing was undertaken on May the 21st. A total of 718 inmates were tested. 92 inmates, or 12.8%, have tested positive, but we are still waiting on results for 22 individuals. We've been waiting on those 22 for 2 days now, and I didn't want to delay in sharing this information with the public. So we are reporting a slightly incomplete set of data, and as soon as we get those last 22 results back, we will share them with you. All individuals that have tested positive for the virus have been put in isolation and their direct contacts quarantined. Currently, all inmates that have tested positive for COVID-19 are stable, and we are proceeding to test all the staff, or I should say retest, all the staff at the correctional facility this week. Since the President Judge issued the initial March 12, 2020 order declaring a judicial emergency, the population in the Montgomery County Correctional Facility has gone from 1,342 to 850 today, a net decrease of 492, which is a 36% decrease. We have also reduced the number of individuals coming in to the correctional facility. The average daily number prior to this pandemic was about 28 per day. It is now 3 to 4 per day. On to community testing. All of our sites are up and running today. The site will be open tomorrow and Friday at our Pottstown Health Center, located at 364 King Street in Pottstown. An appointment is required for testing. Testing is open from 11 to 1. To register for an appointment in Pottstown, you can call 610-970-2937, beginning at 8:30 tomorrow morning for tests tomorrow. The Norristown Walk-Up Community Site will also be open tomorrow and Friday at the Delaware Valley Community Health Center. Any resident of Norristown or any established patient of the Delaware Valley Community Health Center is welcome to be tested at that location. Appointments for Norristown open tomorrow morning at 8:30 in the morning by calling 610-592-0680. And our Montgomery County Community College drive-through site is also open and running smoothly. They will be open tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, but will be closed on Sunday. To make an appointment there, you can go online at montcopa.org/COVID-19 and click under the green County Testing Information button. That starts at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. You can also call at 8 a.m. 610-631-3000. For the dates of April 16th through May the 22nd, we now tested 6,956 individuals at our community testing sites. We have received results on 6,812, which is 98% of the total. 936 of these individuals are positive. So for these 31 days of testing, we're running 13% positive. It's great to see that number starting to tick down a bit. So also as a reminder around testing, that both CVS and Rite Aid are offering no-cost testing at a few different locations in Montgomery County. You do have to be 18 or older for those sites. And you can see an updated list of all public locations at montcopa.org/COVID-19. Under the County Testing Information button, there's now a link that says Testing Sites Map. And if there's green dots on a map, if you hover over, or actually I think click on the green dot, it will give you a pop-up box that has the information that you need for that particular site. So I have an important announcement today about food distribution. No-cost food distribution is coming to Montgomery County starting tomorrow. Distribution is being coordinated by the Montgomery County Department of Public Safety, the MONCO Anti-Hunger Network, and the Eastern Montgomery County Emergency Management Group, in conjunction with Feeding Pennsylvania and Philabundance. I want to thank the volunteer agencies that are assisting in food distribution. RSVP, which is the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, the Montgomery County Medical Reserve Corps, and the Montgomery County Animal Response Team. This food is being provided at no cost through the USDA, that's the United States Department of Agriculture, Coronavirus Food Assistance Program, and will consist of 2 boxes of food for each vehicle. It is a 6-week program with the possibility of renewing 6 weeks at a time, depending upon continued need and continued support of the program. 3,000 boxes of food will be distributed, and the items may change each week. This week, there are 1,500 boxes of mixed dairy and 1,500 boxes of mixed fruits and vegetables. So each vehicle would get 1 of each of those boxes. There is no ability to select the food. These boxes are pre-filled and will be placed in your back of your car or your trunk, preferably in a contactless manner. We have been told that some weeks there will be pet food available, just depending upon availability. Any boxes that are not distributed tomorrow will be dispersed to our local food banks in Montgomery County, so no food will be wasted. All participants will be asked to stay in their vehicles and follow all of the directions from the volunteers. This is critically important for everybody's safety. Tomorrow's distribution will take place at the Willow Grove Park Mall, starting at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., or as long as supplies last. More information about this week's and future distribution sites is on the MONCO Anti-Hunger Network, and you can see the URL at the bottom of the graphic here. It's www.moncoantihunger.org. You don't have to sign up. It is first come, first serve. And we will be moving these distribution sites around the county to different locations each week. This is a once-a-week food distribution. So check back at montcoantihunger.org. I'm not sure when the information for next week will go up, but that's where it will be located. And we just want to thank all of our partners at Mont and all of the other volunteers that are helping in this critically important task of distributing this food. So again, just a reminder that Montgomery County will be entering into the yellow phase on June the 5th, and our goal is a responsible reopen and to keep our curve flat. So just a reminder what this means under the governor's guidelines. In the yellow phase, telework must continue where feasible. In-person operations, if necessary, must follow all business and building safety orders and guidelines. Childcare and summer camps may be open, but must follow guidance. Restrictions on visitation at congregate care settings and correctional facilities will remain in place during the yellow phase. Schools remain closed to in-person instruction. The stay-at-home order is lifted. Large gatherings of more than 25 are not allowed. They are prohibited. While in-person retail is allowable, curbside and delivery is preferable. Indoor recreation, health and wellness facilities, and personal care services and all entertainment like casinos and theaters remain closed in the yellow phase. Restaurants and bars remain limited to carry out and delivery only in the yellow phase. The County Department of Health and Human Services, together with our Commerce Department, is collating guidance on reopening and operating with the coronavirus in our region. We plan to have that available online tomorrow at montcopa.org/COVID-19. And please do take a look at that. We're doing our best to collate numerous forms of guidance that are out there, and as well as Department of Health orders and CDC guidelines. And we will continue to update this document as new information is released. So please remember that we still have virus in our midst. And in order to keep this curve flat and to reopen responsibly, we must each take personal responsibility for our actions. Any one of us could have the virus and be contagious, even if we don't have any symptoms. Covering your sneeze or cough, good hand hygiene, keeping your distance, and wearing a mask helps protect you and those around you. And with that, I'll turn over to Commissioner Lawrence.
Good afternoon. I am going to provide another election update and answer some questions that have been received. Yesterday was the final day to apply for a mail-in ballot, so you can no longer apply for a mail-in ballot. We received 161,044 applications. 160,919 ballots have been sent, and the remaining ballots will be sent out today. If you have applied for mail-in ballot and haven't received it yet, please check the status at www.pavoterservices.pa.gov. And for voters who received a ballot with the wrong party designation, they have all been identified and a new ballot has been mailed. The first ballot you received is canceled and can be destroyed. Yesterday, we filed a petition with the Court of Common Pleas that would give voters a 7-day extension on the deadline for voter services to receive their ballot, as long as it was postmarked by June 2nd. Today, the request has been denied. We intend to file a notice of appeal to bring this matter to the Pennsylvania Commonwealth Court. To eliminate any uncertainty in delivery times, you can use one of our 5 secure ballot drop boxes that are available daily, every day, throughout Montgomery County to ensure that your ballot is received by the June 2nd, 8 p.m. deadline. We are strongly encouraging you to use this option if you haven't already mailed your ballot. The ballot drop-off locations are staffed with county security and are equipped with video surveillance. Ballots returned to the secure drop-off boxes will be delivered to voter services daily and time-stamped as received, just like ballots received in the mail. Completed mail ballots, absentee ballots may be dropped off at any of the times listed for the location you choose and must be placed in the drop-off boxes by 8 p.m. on primary election day, June 2nd. However, you do not have to wait until June 2nd to drop off your ballot. These locations are open every day and including the weekends. If you're using one of our secure drop-off boxes, you can only return your own voted ballot in the box. The Pennsylvania Election Code does not permit anyone other than the voter to return their mail-in ballot. However, voters with an absentee ballot due to illness or disability that has been signed by a doctor and has filed the appropriate paperwork to designate someone on their behalf to deliver their ballot can have their ballot dropped off by the designated person. And the ballot drop-off locations are located in Norristown at 1 Montgomery Plaza, 425 Sweet Street, Green Lane in Green Lane Park, Lansdale at the Montgomery County Community Connections Office, Pottstown at the Montgomery County Community College, Pottstown campus, and Willow Grove and our Eastern Courthouse Annex. You can find complete information about the locations, hours of operations, and whether it is a drive-up or walk-up site on the Voter Services website at www.montcopa.org/voter-services. And for those of you who are planning to vote in person on Election Day, polling locations have been consolidated for this election only. For more information about the updated polling locations, please visit the Voter Services website at www.montcopa.org/voter-services, or you can email voters@montcopa.org. Next, I'd like to announce more award announcements for round 2 of the Montco Strong Small Business Grant Program. These awards are again being administered by the Redevelopment Authority of Montgomery County in partnership with the Montgomery County Department of Commerce. The $5 million available for the second round of the program includes funds from the Delaware Valley Regional Economic Development Fund and the Federal CARES Act. Round 2 of the program received approximately 2,900 applications requesting $29.3 million in grant awards, nearly double the amount of the application received in round 1. We want to thank the Delaware Valley Regional Economic Development Fund, chaired by former County Commissioner Tom Ellis, for their support of Montgomery County small businesses. And we would also like to extend our thanks and appreciations to the Redevelopment Authority of Montgomery County for their continued partnership and collaboration on this program with our Department of Commerce. Today, we are announcing another 172 grant awardees who are receiving $2,006,500, which totals approximately $2.9 million in grant funds awarded to date. Of new awards, 103 businesses identified as minority women-owned businesses, identified as veteran-owned businesses, and 45 municipalities have at least one grant awardee with this 527 announcement. Grant awardees are being contacted via email by the Redevelopment Authority of Montgomery County with grant contracting instructions, and the RDA will continue reviewing award applications through the next week. A list of the awardees is posted on www.montcopa.org/MontcoStrongSBGP. And with that, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Gale.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Montgomery County Commissioner Joe Gale. This morning on national television, I saw the Philadelphia Inquirer's headline, Montgomery County sent 2,000 Pennsylvania voters the wrong ballot for next week's primary. Frankly, the mismanagement of this primary election here in Montgomery County should be a national scandal. At the April 16th meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Elections, I voted against a $1 million contract to an Ohio printing company which outsourced the handling of mail-in voting. When I opposed this contract, I raised concerns that this election would not be handled properly. After I provided these comments, Commissioner Lawrence lashed out by saying it was, quote, absolutely disgusting for me to raise concerns about voter services and voting by mail. Now I think it should be clear to everyone that my concerns were justified, and it is the handling of this primary election that is absolutely disgusting. Tens of thousands of ballots were sent out with the wrong instructions. At least 2,000 wrong ballots were sent to voters. People are still complaining they never received their ballot. The return envelopes are not secure and private due to the fact that the envelopes are transparent so that anybody can see the voter's ballot and how they voted. On top of all this, when voters call voter services, the phone rings and rings with no answer. Mail-in voting has been a total fiasco in every way possible, and it was predictable after the mess we saw in the 2016 presidential election, where many mail-in ballots were never counted. Yet my colleagues would be on the press conferences day after day urging Montgomery County residents to vote by mail, saying how easy it is to vote from the comfort of your own home. In reality, the process is far from easy and certainly not comforting to anyone who believes in a fair and accurate election. On the contrary, I have been outspoken since day one that I do not trust the vote by mail process and have encouraged voters to honor their civic duty by going to the polls and casting their vote in person on Election Day. After all, it is supposed to be Election Day, not election week, not election month, but Election Day. Now, to make matters worse, the Democrat commissioners are petitioning the courts to allow the counting of mail-in votes to continue for an additional week after the election. This was denied today, and now my colleagues are appealing the ruling. Historically, this was an accommodation that was only made for military men and women who may be serving our nation from anywhere in the world. Now they want to allow an extra week of counting for any and all mail-in ballots. This also means we may not know the outcome of the election on election night. This November's election night, when the nation is waiting to find out who will be our president for the next 4 years, it is possible, if not likely, that the country will be waiting all night, if not all week, for Montgomery County and Pennsylvania to finish counting votes. This is why I urge Montgomery County residents to vote and vote in person, because mail-in voting cannot be trusted. And that concludes my comments for today, and I'll turn it over to the press.
Thank you. This afternoon, we're joined by both Chad Perdelli from 6ABC and Jim Melward from KYW. And we will start with Chad.
Can you hear me now? I apologize. I was having some problems with my computer.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So how many, at this point, how many of those mail-in ballots were left unapproved? And again, your message to voters is to go and travel to these election boxes to drop them off at this point. But many of these people were unable to do that. That's why they're doing a mail-in ballot. So what would you say to those people?
So if I understand your first question, we have 125 applications, ballots to be sent out. If you look at our total number of applications and the ballots that have been sent so far. So that's where we are with that. It is challenging to have an election during a pandemic, and we are doing everything possible we can to make sure that everyone's votes are counted.
So you have 125,000 that still haven't been sent out. Is that what you said?
No, 125. 120. We have 161,044 applications. We have sent 160,919 ballots have been sent.
Okay. And then, so if you get your ballot, it's been sent. It was sent last night. You receive it. You don't suggest people mail it in back in. You're saying take that ballot, go to one of the election boxes you listed in Norristown, Green Lane Park, Lansdale, and drop it off. Is that correct?
If you have the capacity to do that, yes, that would be the best way to ensure that your ballot is counted. If you need to put it in the mail, delivery times have been picking up as well, and depending on where you do it, you go. But if you have the ability to go to a drop-off location, we would recommend that.
And then I think that's it for me. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chad. We'll now turn it over to Jim Melward from KYW.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you to repeat a couple of things because I'm a radio guy and my attention span is awful. You mentioned the designated, somebody who could be designated to drop it off. Can you explain how that works and what someone needs to do to have the ability to drop off?
Yes, that's for voters who have an absentee ballot due to illness or disability. So there's actually an affidavit that a doctor has to sign on that. So it's appropriate paperwork, and then you can designate someone to deliver your ballot.
And are there any steps to being taken for nursing homes, long-term care facilities that are locked down to collect ballots or in any way to get ballots from people who can't get out to hand them to someone?
Yes, we have our solicitor's office exploring options for that and working with voter services. So we don't have anything to announce yet, but we are exploring options to hit some of those residential living facilities that historically have been polling places, but aren't due to the pandemic.
And Delaware County is putting boxes in polling places. Are there any efforts in Montgomery County to try to do that?
We're looking at what Delaware County is doing. I don't think it's exactly boxes, but yes, we're in touch with Delaware County to see what they're doing, and we're looking at all those options as well.
And that may have something to do with the 125 number you mentioned, but the missing apartment numbers. Is there any way to know how many were affected by that, or how many were able or unable to get their ballots?
Yeah, I don't have a number for that.
Okay, that does it for me. Thanks.
That concludes today's questions.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone, and we will see you tomorrow at 3. Have a great evening.